Okay, then let's see, right? Okay, then I'll put some errors, right? So I keep some errors in here, right? Okay, now you can see, right? So in here, first of all, I you say I made some spelling mistake, right? So include should be DE. Then I execute, compile this. Now you can see. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I put some.
Your screen not work.
Sorry.
Screen not work. Screen share.
Screen share. Yeah, I'll share. Right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, have you seen there's an error in line number 1? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the error?
E nene.
Yeah.
Included.
Yeah. This spelling is missing. Right. So in here, when I compile it, right, you can see. Right. So it indicate line number 1 is incorrect. Right. So not only the E. Right. So if you made some mistake in here. Right. So if you made some mistake in here it's a there's a mistake. There's a error in line number 1, right? Like this. That is first one is spelling mistake. Or likewise in here there can be some symbol mistake, right? Right. So likewise, so if you have any error in line number 1, you have to check it. Is it okay? Did you understand it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then assume sometimes the student may write main like this. Right. So if it is not if there is an error at the end of this main function, end of means the in character, right? So it takes the error line as line number 3. Right now you can see there is no error in line number 3, but there is an error in end of the line number 2. Right? Usually because the compiler don't know where is the line, right? So they check the line number 2. Then when you go to the line number 3, that line number 2 is incorrect. 2 is actually not completed. Line number 2 is not completed. So that's the problem. Have you got it? Line number 2 is not completed. That's the problem. Then you have to complete line number 2. So how can we complete? Put open and close round bracket. Have you got it? Have you got it? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Then in here, I don't put the opening curly bracket. In here, they check the error in here because this is comment is ignored. Then when they go to the line number 5, we can't start line number 5 because that opening curly bracket is not there here. Right. So here you can see line number 4 is ignored, right? Because that is comment. Comment is ignored by the compiler, right? It doesn't matter. So when you go to the line number 5, the starting point of the line number 5 is incorrect because this is not a block, right? So if it is a block, that block should be starting of the open curly bracket, right? So once you open the curly bracket, the closing curly bracket also taken by the software, right? And then so there is a spelling mistake in printf, right? So in here, they say there is no function called print. Print. T is missing, right? Then you have to put T, right? So depending on the line indicated by the compiler, right now there is no error. So assume that semicolon is not there. Then here they take the error in next line because this line number 5 is not terminate. Line number 5 is not end, right? Then you have to end this line number 5. Or if you made some mistake like this, right? If you delete this double quotation, again there is error in line number 5. That quotation is there in here. That quotation is not there. Likewise, depending on the indication by the compiler, you must have ability to correct the program. Did you understand it? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's about the plus program, right? So try to install that software and then run this program, right? First of all, write the source code and then try to run this program, right? So there are some basic things, right? I'll explain it and then stop this, right? So next one is we discuss comments, right? Next one is identifier. Actually, identifier means name used to identify variable, function, or any other user-defined item, right? So identifier, so when you use the identifier, it should be start with a letter. Letter means uppercase or lowercase. We call simple or capital, right? So you can use A to simple Z or capital A to capital Z, or you can use underscore followed by 0 or more letters, all right? So you can use digits and all those things after the first letter, right? So at the beginning, you can't use digits, right? You can use, so at the starting character as an identifier, right? So you can use only any lowercase or uppercase or underscore symbol. Have you got it? So for example, say number 1, number 2, you can't use one number likewise, right? So you can't start the identifier by using digits, right? You can start the identifier only using the uppercase letter or lowercase letter or underscore. Have you got it? Did you understand? Okay, so here C does not allow punctuation characters such as at symbol, dollar, a percentage within the identifier. So within the identifier, you can't use at, dollar, percentage, those symbols, right? You can use only the uppercase, lowercase, underscore, and digits, right? But at the starting, as a starting character, we can't use digits, right? So C is case sensitive. Case sensitive means once you say number like this, that is n start from lowercase. Here, if you use n from the uppercase, in C programming, these two are treated as two different identifiers, right? So these two are taken as two different identifiers because C is case sensitive. They consider the case. So here, case is uppercase. Here, the case is lowercase, or the character is simple. Here, this is character is upper capital, right? So therefore, they take these two are different, right? So even in C programming, you can't use reserve words. So for example, you can't use main word like main, printf. So those are reserve words, right? So let's see how to name variables, right? And then next one is keyword. So these are the keywords that we have in C programming, right? So no need to memorize these things, right? So no need to memorize. So when you are doing the programming, you will remind these keywords, right? So in here, for the time being, we use the return keyword, right? So likewise, when you do the programming, right? So you will remind these keywords, right? So no need to memorize, right? So right now we use the return keyword, int keyword, right? So those two are used, right? So likewise, we can use these keywords during the practical sessions, right? So and then the data type. Actually, a data type used for the declaring variables or functions of different types, right? So actually, type of the variable determine, right, or the data type determine how much space is occupied in storage, right? How much space is occupied in a storage, right? And then how the bit pattern stored in is interpreted, right? Actually, data type can be described as set of values and possible operations. So for example, if you take integers, there are a set of values for integers. And then there are a set of operations. If you take integers, we can add, divide, multiply. Those are the operations on integer. If you take characters, there are a set of values. If you take characters, set of values means lowercase letters and uppercase letters. What are the possible operations? Can you do the multiplication in characters or division in characters? Can't we divide? So we can't divide A by Z, A by B, likewise. But we can join the characters, right? We can join the characters. Likewise, so depending on the data type, there are set of possible operations, right? Set of values are there, set of operations are there, right? So that is depend on the data type, right? And then, so these are the basic types, integers and floating point. You know what's meant by integer and floating point. Integer means complete number, 1, 2, 3, likewise. There are positive integer and negative integer. Floating point means you can have some decimal points, say 10.50, 10.75, right? Decimal points, right? And then you can have enumerate types, right? Enumerators means you can define set of types, right? Like I said, male, female. You can define. Gender is male, female. There are 2 types. If your title is say Mr., Mrs., Dr. Ravana, likewise, you can define set of values, right? And then there's a special type called void. Void. Void means if there is no return value or if there is no value to return, then we can mention void, right? Void means nothing to return. There are no value. There's no value written by the void. And then there are some derived types, arrays, structured, right? So we can use those things in C programming, right? Okay. So as I said earlier, right? So if it is integer, these are the set of values that we can use, right? Here you can use minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. So these are the set of values. So within this range, we can we can store any value using the integer data type, right? If it is char, so this is the value range. Likewise, depending on the data type, we can use set of values, right? So this is the floating point range of values. So actually, no need to memorize these things, right? No need to memorize, right? So no need to keep in mind these things, right? So you can use these data types when you are doing the programming, right? Okay. So then if it is void type, right? So we can use the void type in function definition. So I'm not going to explain this void type right now, right? Then you will travel in here, right? So, okay. So this is the basics in C programming, right? So these are the basics, right? So what you have to do, you can do that first program, this one, right? This one, and then try to execute this program, right?